I need a vacation probably.
Yeah, that may be it. Where's Tristan?
Tristan is driving across the country, moving back to Indiana.
Oh, okay. I emailed him and I haven't checked my email to see if he replied, but I missed him the last couple of times.
Yeah.
So that's where he's at. Okay.
Yeah. Carlos, Ismail,
Dennis.
Mr. Tucker, how you doing?
Doing good. Good to be back.
Good.
All right. And Mr. Tom, how you doing? Oh, he's still connecting to audio. Tucker, how are you?
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm good.
Oh, yikes. Do you hear that? The shatter in the audio?
Oh,
What kind of
I
mic do you? Okay. Mr. Tom. Can you hear us? Double Tom.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah, you sound good.
All right, trying out a new set of Logitech wireless headset
All right.
microphones, so making sure it's working.
Great, great, great. All right. So today I want to continue from what we talked about last week, where we were using the AI to write content and how smart that was. And it gave you ideas on how you can write blog posts and books and social media content and all these other things that are necessary to operate in the new world of digital marketing, which is content driven. And I want to talk about how we turn those into books and examples of how we can string together other tools on top of these other AI tools, tons of these AI tools to be able to create authoritative content, of which the most authoritative content's a book. And I want you guys to think about, what is it that you want to be known for? What is it that Nate Garcia wants to be known for, or Dr. Kim? And what would that topic be? And who would the other people who know something about that topic be ones that you'd be associated with to reinforce authority, because you know what you're talking about and you're doing it with the people that are most authoritative, to build your network, which will then drive your ability to work with lighthouses, which is what we do from an agency standpoint, and build software and processes and training and all those kinds of things that drive inbound leads. Yeah. So I want to talk about that and show you how to do it and walk through some exercises so we can do it together today and then over the next couple of weeks, with the goal that if you haven't already, I would love to help you publish your book in the next couple of weeks. Would that be awesome? Isn't that the thing? Like when you have a book, I was in Nashville a couple of days ago with my buddy, Philip Stutz. Philip Stutz is, you guys probably is known for manipulating elections, right? And
I bought it. I saw your picture and I bought it.
And so I tagged Philip in my post and I put him in my story too. So you could see, I'm going to share my screen here just so you could see. And this is going to be somewhat new for Tucker, because Tucker hasn't seen how we do these sorts of things, but everything we do is teaching by example, which you typically don't see in these other kinds of meetings. So if you look at the post that I've made, for example, I made a post a couple days ago saying how Philip's book is awesome and everyone should go get it. Actually, let's see if I can go back to it in my newsfeed. So all this is around building authority because of who you're with and because of the topics that you're talking about. Those are the items that fit into the topic wheel, right? So for example, this is me teaching a digital marketer, ironically talking about the topic wheel and building courses. This is our dinner from last night. The older gentleman here, not this guy, the other guy over here, this guy in the red has a site with 1.4 million users, freeebooks.net, huge SEO power, 300,000 visitors per day, got a lot of traffic. And we're going to do some stuff with him. If you guys want to be involved, might be a good one for Tucker. Okay, let's see. Here, yesterday, a friend gave me a screenshot saying that he was browsing through Fiverr and he saw that I was on the homepage. Thought that was kind of cool, huh? So I shared that, like, wow, this is really cool. And then all these other people come in, including Sean Dill and whatnot, right? So you get all this social proof. And it's not that there's a lot of likes here. It's that it's the right people that are engaging here. And I see a lot of these are clients, right? Bryant Garvin, we spent $100 million for him on Facebook with Purple, the mattress company. That's pretty cool. And you can see who these other people are. That's pretty awesome, right? And here, this guy runs podcast, or what is it? The CMO podcast in Asia. So I was on his, or whatever, Podfest. Maybe we'll speak at his event in Singapore in August. There, I updated my cover photo. Then you get all this on it, right? I'm not saying go for likes and comments. That's not what it is. It's connecting with the right people. Right. This guy was the what is it called? Not the announcer or the moderator, but the host. He's the MC. This guy was the MC for Traffic and Conversion Summit, right? So we know who he is and we speak at his events. What is this guy? What did he say? I said, yep, awesome working with you. And he said, yep, I love how you think. So when this happens, all the people that are friends of his and other people that are related are going to see this, which reinforces your authority, right? And you see these kinds of things, right? Other people are sharing your content. When they share your content, that creates double social proof because it gives you a second degree effect, what's called a weak connection on LinkedIn. where it's not your friend, but it's a friend of someone who sees your stuff, so that someone else is trusting you because of your relationship with them, right? This 3 days ago, Nashville, Wes Foster, successful agency owner, helping him grow. We got a lot of agency owners we've helped grow, right? And then this just reinforces it. So this is Wes making the post. I want you guys to understand that authority comes from what other people say about you, not from what you say about you. If you're talking about yourself, then you're some kind of self-promoting, chest beating, one of those sorts. You never want to be one of those people, right?
Right.
You want to be one of these people that other people talk about you. So, and that's why I say you should never work on your own personal brand, right? You should never work on your own personal brand.
Right.
Because these other people are doing it for you, right? And I got my butt up early to go on a run with Wes, who's, former Army, and he sort of kicked my butt until eventually I said, all right, we need to walk. Like, I don't want to run. I can't run this far and have a conversation. Like, the oxygen goes to either my legs or my brain. I can't do both, right? And then I was at Dave Toohill's house. Dave Toohill's the CMO for Dr. Axe. So Dr. Axe has 1 billion views on TikTok, and also is doing $112 million a year for his courses and $200 million a year for e-com. He runs Ancient Nutrition. So I was in his video studio with his guns. He happens to have $200,000 of guns. So I picked some up and I said, this is cool. And he said, yeah, I want to take a picture. All right. I'm going to put it on my profile cover and let's see if I get some hate on it, right?
You didn't get as much hate as I thought you would when you posted.
Only a couple people said some hateful stuff. I thought it was very positive. And the newsfeed it's called a filter bubble, because it'll show you other people that are whatever, things that you want to see. And let's see if I can go back. This is only just 3 or 4 days ago. So you can see what's going on here. I'm sharing new graphics that are from our training, like this one, which social network to post on. And let's see. Here it is. Get the Undefeated Marketing System by Philip Stutz right now for $15 on Amazon. And then I showed the proof of me buying his book, right? And I tagged him, but I didn't just tag 20 people. I tagged him, and we have a relationship. So it's not some gratuitous tagging, right? I also shared it on Twitter because I want to make sure that he sees that too. And if you can share from a blue check account, it's going to give you just a little bit more proof, right? Because they come in, they say, oh, the blue check. And if you ever want me to share your stuff, just let me know, right? Happy to do that. Then they see, oh, wow, this guy gets lots of likes and comments on his stuff, right? So that's cool. We have a thing coming up on Friday. They're tagging me. That's cool. Okay, let's come back over here. But this is the one I wanted to show you. So Philip Stutz is a lot like Tucker Max, not Tucker Monheimer, Tucker Max. And why? Because he knows marketing and PR and how to influence groups of people to buy things or to think a certain way. And you could think it's Machiavellian or manipulative or whatnot, but it really is just the core of human psychology. And this is his second book. This Undefeated Marketing System says that there's so much content out there. There's 10,000 ads a day that people are seeing. You don't even remember them, right? There's just so many. That the way to stand out is you need authority that comes from well-known people that are talking about you, customers that are saying great things about you, some angle of humor, because that's fun and interesting and doesn't feel like sales, and it's also worth sharing. It's serendipitous, and it has to have some kind of fuel behind it so that people can see it. So just because you post on YouTube or Facebook doesn't mean anyone's going to see it, right? It has to be in a format that people will say, oh, wow, that's really cool. Or it needs to be with $1 a day on ads. Or you can take something that you have as training and you could turn it into one of these things, right? You guys have seen how we produce, these kinds of trainings. In fact, we have lots of them. We have 30 or 40 of these different ones that are also in our learning management system. Here's how you optimize your Facebook ads, step by step. We have all of these different sorts of courses on different sorts of things. And of course, we can turn those into books, just like what Philip has. So think about what is the difference between writing a blog post or a tweet or a webinar versus a book? What is the difference? Like Alicia was in our clubhouse room, was it yesterday or the day before? That was awesome. And in front of 300 people, she went on and on about how people should be part of this group that we're in, right? This office hours group that we're on Wednesday afternoons. Alicia, by the way, thank you for being there. That was awesome. Are you there, Alicia? You're on mute. Well, she was there. She was awesome. She's got a blue check mark too, but she doesn't use it. She needs to. But I want to put it out there. What is the difference between different kinds of content that most people are posting on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on their blog posts, on whatnot, versus a book? What are the key differences between the two? So you guys can unmute, open it up, share your thoughts.
So for a book, it's really speak to who you are, or what is the word? Here's the word. I think of it as it's a big business card, right? A large business card, and it's specifically speaks to, in a sense, who you are. It has your name on it. It's a part of the branding of who you are, instead of just a blog or tweet. And the blog and the tweet, like, they go away in a sense, but the book, you literally have it, right? You have the book there, and it's physical, and it's intellectual property. That's the thought.
Well, isn't it all intellectual property? Isn't everything intellectual property?
Yes, to a certain extent, though.
So let me ask Tucker. Tucker, what's so special about a book?
I don't know. It's kind of tough when you compare the two. I mean, on one hand, social media, it's instant. Like, I can pick up my phone right now and send something out, and I could have the same idea that I would want to put in a book, but this is more instant gratification. I think the thing about a book is, it's a little bit more thought out and takes more time, and obviously it's harder to, in my opinion, harder to market than, like, say, a social media page. So I think there's more work that goes into a book, as opposed to something like social media that's pretty instant gratification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Isaac, why would somebody write a book?
To write a book, to establish authority, to, be able to display their understanding, be able to contribute to the world, add value to the existing ecosystem, their unique perspective, maybe based on their experiences and the way they see things.
Yeah. So if you were to write a book, what topic would it be?
For me, that's a good one.
Wouldn't that
I'm
be
big
key
on-
for your agency? Right? And
Yeah,
the Dominican Republic to be known as the guy for digital marketing.
Trinidad and Tobago.
I'm sorry, Trinidad and Tobago, for the restaurants you have, for the drinks,
Yeah.
the CPG companies.
Yeah, absolutely. It would immediately signal a level of thought, detail, research, study, experience. Automatically it resonates. People like to speak to authors, and people make the assumption that if you wrote a book, that you have a higher understanding or deeper understanding of a certain topic. So yeah.
And Tom McMillan, who's run an agency with a lot of clients, how would having a book impact your agency?
Well, I mean, from an agency perspective, it can help you from a perspective of zeroing in. Like, if you only wanted a lighthouse, you could use it for, like, making sure that you could be sending it out to any potential client. So from that perspective, it can help you from a marketing tool or an onboarding tool. You can be like, this is our process. We've even written a book about it from that perspective.
Yeah.
Even just authority building, I think it helps from that perspective too.
Yeah. And reinforces the audience that you have. So Tom Hawkins of Tom Hawkins Chevrolet, you've done Chevrolet in your family for how many generations, and how many Hawkins are there? Quite a few, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, or my mom's side too. Yeah, the Marquardt side. So yeah, so we've, I don't know what I'd write about. I was thinking about that as you were talking. I'm kind of a generalist, and I know a little bit about a lot, but I don't know a lot about specific things. So I don't know what I'd focus on. But I was thinking this morning, because I do want to start writing. I really enjoy writing. Do you ever see a market? Two things. First of all, publishing things on Medium, is that a good way to start? And
no,
secondly,
only if you don't have a blog.
All right.
Here's a book about generalists.
There you go. But the other thing I was thinking, what if I wanted to write, but I wanted to help others who don't know how to write or have a story, but I could co-publish something for somebody, help somebody else write their story. Is that viable?
Yeah, you could be a ghostwriter. You could start an agency. You could do a service. You could take what you've done for Hawkins Chevrolet and help all the other Chevy dealerships, because you guys know how to run a family business. You know how to operate. There's a lot of other things, and knowing a little bit about everything is actually the hallmark of a successful entrepreneur. An employee does one thing. They're in accounting. They do PPC. They do whatever, the one thing. They do that one thing over and over and over again, because there's a lot of people that comprise a company. And as a company is with lots of employees and people who are specialists in different areas. That's the way it is, where you get really good at one thing and you get a good paycheck. And there's nothing wrong with being an employee, right? Versus being a business owner, you do have to be across everything by definition, because if anything, is not going right, even if it's something you don't understand how to turn a wrench, you don't understand different operations at the dealership or with the marketing or customer service or all the, products and inventory and logistics, you have to know about everything because you're responsible for the whole thing. So what happens when you start in your career is you have a dot. Your knowledge is a dot. And there's all these axes that come out that are different areas of expertise. And as you start to go through college, for example, and you learn about one area, for example, I started learning about accounting and finance. So I have a degree in finance. I have an undergrad in finance and I have a master's in economics. So my circle starts getting wider as I'm learning more and more things about, the arts and science and things like this. But then I'm getting further, one of these points is getting further out because I'm learning more about that one thing. If that profile gets spikier and spikier, then you eventually become an employee because you just have this one spike profile, but everything else is kind of small because you haven't really invested in those other areas, which is not to say that's bad, right? Because if you want to get a job, you have to have one really good thing, one spike that's way out here. Because if you try to do a little bit of everything, then you're kind of like this, you're a jack of all trades, but you don't have anything that's way out here, right? So when you're in that situation, you have to think, do I want to be an entrepreneur where I'm knowing a little bit about everything, which is kind of harder to do in some ways. You have to be more of a manager and you have to know how to deal with people and deal with doing things and deal with planning and deal with money and deal with marketing and deal with all sorts of things. Or do I want something that is safer, narrower, where I just have the other things don't develop, but I just have one profile coming out as a spike profile? Does that make sense? Is anyone not clear on the idea of employee versus entrepreneur? A lot of people will think that if you know a lot about one particular topic, that will set you up to be better positioned to be an author, right? Because if you know a lot about, your genome and your chromosomes and what this means about your history and, genetic problems you might have because of something that's, with your, what is this 23andMe kit I have here, right? That might be, I might be better positioned as an expert, right? You would think, right? If I'm an expert in one area, I would be more likely to write a book. I would be better positioned to write a book, right? Not true. Because when you look at people who are writing books, what percent of them are employee specialist types who are really good at one thing versus they're more generalists like Tom Hawkins and they're entrepreneurs? It's usually the latter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why is that? Why do you think that is? Tucker, why do you think that is?
Honestly, it's a good question.
I think it's a wide variety of thinking. Somebody can have some recognizability in a lot of topics, so you can at least relate, even if you don't have the depth. Like, for example, when I'm doing things here, I become an IT specialist I'm the IT systems guy in my dealership. Well, I can't do as much as my network company can do, but I can get access. I can get the right answers fairly quickly because at least I know where we're kind of going. I was on the phone on a call today with Facebook. Facebook's going to do some testing of their automotive inventory ads, and I'm they're going to spend like $600 over a month doing some testing. They want to test out some stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I was able to, because of I have limited knowledge on how to set up a Facebook ad, a lot less than Dennis, but I know enough that they were very thankful that I knew what I did when we were on the call trying to overcome some of these issues that we're going with. So I think that's the value of what you're asking, Dennis, is that having a general knowledge, you at least know how to be a problem solver, I think is what it amounts to.
So what Tom said is exactly the right answer. Because when you're a generalist or you are a doer or an owner in some way, the key is not what you know. The key is your ability to reach people who do know. So the people that I know that have written a bunch of books, the source of the material is from people they know that they have asked. So it's not to say that, because some people say, well, then you don't have to be an expert at anything, because all you have to do is round up the other people you know that are experts, collect stuff, do one chapter each, and voila, you have a book. That does work. There are people that do that. I don't recommend doing that. But it does mean that there are people who are very expert in different areas, and they don't, for various reasons, want to write a book because it's too much effort, because they don't want to, because there's a whole nother level of skill required in getting a book out, besides just being an expert in whatever the thing is, right? So I want to show you now what this means from our point of view. One of our friends who we're talking to tomorrow morning, I've known him for 7-8 years. He runs this company, Escape Fitness, and he founded it 20-something years ago. Matthew Janusek, if you go to a 24-hour fitness or a Lifetime Fitness or what have you, you're going to see his equipment in there. And he's really big in Europe. You go to any of the nice gyms, the stuff that the high-end athletes are using, trainers, this is what it is. This is not some $10 yoga mat on Amazon.com or Walmart. This is commercial pro level stuff. And if you see what the pros are using, name any of them, a lot of them are using this stuff. And part of what he's done is he's created a podcast, Escape Your Limits. And if you look at the people that are on this podcast, it is the who's who of everybody in fitness, from the CEOs of the major fitness companies to Olympic gold medalists to you name it, right? Even this guy, Amen, who's a good buddy of mine, right? And this is...
I'm thinking it's about showtime right now.
Let's see if we can find
I think I sent
So some of these only get a few hundred views, which is crazy. Look at this, Lee Haney. Have you heard of this guy, Lee Haney?
Even if no one...
He was a big bodybuilder guy,
So
right?
today's guest holds the incredible joint record of 8 Mr. Olympia wins from 1984 to 1991, retiring undefeated and beating the previous record set by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Passionate about the importance of both physical and spiritual growth, he's an incredible spokesperson for fitness at any age of your life.
There's Matthew.
Today with his wife Shirley, he runs a youth charity to help support
I think they
children
did
at
this to
risk
win.
and guide them through the right path. He's also inspiring the older generations with his new book, Fit at Any Age. For a lesson in staying at the top of your game and someone who's inspired me personally through my junior bodybuilding career, please welcome world champion bodybuilder, author and mentor Lee Haney to the Escape Your Limits podcast. Welcome, Lee.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
And it's a real pleasure to sit down with someone who, through my younger years, I'd looked at on pages of magazines and been inspired for a long time. So it's a real...
All right, what do you guys think of this so far? What does it tell you? Anybody?
Well, I would think that if he's established that this is a video podcast that he's done, he established, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just he's developed authority. He's developed, his credibility based on the authority of people who in the business who trust him.
Right. So if you are a bodybuilder or you follow bodybuilders and you know who have you guys heard of Lee Haney? Have you heard of this guy?
I have.
No? Some people have? Okay. I imagine if we go to the list of the other people that he has, you've definitely heard of these sorts of people, right? You look at these people that are here. Which of these people do you know? These are like the who's who in the world of fitness.
Well, I'm the last guy who know people in the world of fitness.
You guys follow UFC, Chuck Liddell?
Chuck Liddell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had Chuck Liddell make some videos for me. I thought that was funny. Let's see, who else do we have? Dave Meltzer. Heard of him? Sports guy, billion-dollar empire. Anyway, you basically Life Fitness CEO. That's pretty awesome. Martin Siebold.
Shay Rowbottom.
Yeah. So you see, this just goes on and on and on, right? Dorian
Yeah,
Yates. Oh, this guy? Who's this guy? Okay. So some of these videos get 100 views and some of them get 500,000 views, or that first one was 700,000 views. What is it? Oh, Frank Zane. That's a bodybuilding guy, right? Cali Muscle. You know who this, have you seen this guy? These are one of these people with, I call these people beef jerky because their muscles are just, I don't know how they get muscles like that. But why would he be doing this? And look, here's one. This is for a year ago. This is 2,000 views.
A couple months later. Then I wrote an article in TechCrunch, which was one of the most popular articles ever on TechCrunch, how to spam Facebook like a pro. And then I got death threats.
Our guest today is the Chief Executive Officer of Blitzmetrics, a digital marketing company.
Okay, blah, 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 right? So why would you do a video podcast? And how does that impact his business and being able to sell more equipment?
It validates his authority of that topic or just in that industry.
Yeah.
It's association too, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's key.
Yeah,
Now this video, he pays a couple $1,000s to edit each of these, and only 2,000 people have seen this video. And now it's been seen on, Facebook and other places as well, but just here on YouTube, it's only 2,000 views. If we're paying $2,000 to edit a video that 2,000 people are seeing, we're paying $1 for each person to see this.
Right.
How can that possibly have ROI?
Well, it depends on the action of the 2,000 people that viewed it.
Yeah, that's true.
So
It could have 30 views and have ROI better than one with 2,000 views, depending on the action that they took.
Yeah, so if the CEO of 24 Hour Fitness sees this, and then they place a $5 million order across all their gyms, then that's good ROI.
Wow.
Alicia, you going to say something?
yeah, one of the things that I was going to say is that it helps them to be omnipresent because, just like with conversion, a lot of times somebody needs to see something 3, 4, 5 times. If you can get them on the variety of the platforms, they don't need to see 5 of your YouTube videos. They just need to see you 5 times in different places to say, hey, who is this guy?
Yep. Especially if they see that guy with other people that they know, like, and trust and respect.
Right.
Then you enter that same group of people. So if I'm not known by anybody in fitness, but Matthew's well known, and then people see me with Matthew, then they assume I'm probably somebody who's worthwhile in some sort of area, right?
Right.
So it creates something that's called implied authority.
Dennis, I'll give you an example. I'm multitasking right now because Diamond Diva in Clubhouse like invited me up stage and modded me. There's a certain, and she mods in a lot of rooms. So there's a certain type of people that I'm getting next to that are very outside of what I do. Finance people, stuff like that. But like you said, they're top people in what they do.
Yep. Okay. Now I want to show you something here. You guys see my screen? I've shifted over to this cool tool designer. You can use ours because we paid money for the subscription. And these things, they start off as cheap, but then if you want all these other features, you have to end up paying all this extra money. So I've gone ahead and paid it for you guys. So you can come in and use my login. And what I've done is this lets me create books almost instantly. So what I'll do is I'll say new project, and I'm going to import from YouTube. So I can go YouTube straight to PDF or from a podcast or whatever kind of format. Because what I want to do is, oh, Shondale, can I join Clubhouse at 7 p.m. EST? Yes, sure. Hang on a second here. There's our Lighthouse in 7, that's 4 o'clock. Okay, there's our chiropractor Lighthouse. Okay, so here I can take a YouTube video, and that's not the one. I had one of these tabs that was open. Anyway, I take and it cost me, by the way, I think I pay 7 cents per minute for transcription. So I'm not going to do this one quite yet, but I'm going to show you. And I'll take one of these things, and when it's done going through that video, it'll take 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And then this is one video that we just put in. It's just me sketching out some stuff, right? About how the Facebook algorithm works. And it automatically generated this book, literally just from a single YouTube video.
Wow.
That's it. I just put the thing in. Now, is this done the right way? And do we have the right headings and images and sections and all that? Not really, but it's a good start. It gets us 70, 80% of the way there. Then, of course, the back cover, we have to say something more interesting. We have templates on what we can use, right? So I can come here and I can edit, and now I can change these different elements. I've got all kinds of templates that I can use. So on the cover, let's see. I'm still playing around with all these other items, but basically it's just drag and drop. So you don't have to be a designer. And here's another one. It's just a transcription, and I can just change these items around. I could say, you understand how this works, right? So everything here is just completely, this is one that I did when we were in Nashville. This is Dr. Shane and Dr. Jason Gonzalez, and they want to publish a book on the vagal tone and how that affects headaches and the brain-gut connection, and how your brain and your gut are closely connected, because how that helps with things like your microbiome and headaches and all these kinds of things, right? And we want to turn this into a book and put it on Amazon and get all of our friends like Dr. Sean, who's pinging me, to say, this is the best book. You need to get this book because it's going to help you deal with your thyroid problem. Because I had no idea that there was because of the brain-gut connection, that also affects your thyroid, right? So here it is. Here's the video. This is one they shot. I want to say it's just under an hour, 58 minutes. So this was shot as a webinar.
Hello
right?
there, and welcome to the Brain Gut Connection. I'm Dr. Shane Smith.
I'm Dr. Jason Gonzalez.
And we just want to welcome you to our upcoming conference. We're going to enlighten you guys and expose you to some new information and insight about this kind of mythical thing here called the brain gut.
You see, well,
a lot of folks are out there.
But if you just have gasoline in that car and it's got all the parts and pieces, it's not going to move around. It's not going to do anything until we have information, they're addressing the symptoms of these other systems, the GI system, the detoxification system, the immune system, but no, correct this. And we'll talk more about the actual correction part.
Now you see how along the way they have these diagrams, and they have these things that we can add in as chapters. So this could be the 7 ways on how to fix leaky gut or something like that. And then each of these items, glutens and grains, conventional GMO foods, bone broth, right? Each of these things can be a paragraph. So we could even turn this whole thing into a book all by itself, right? You see how taking a video, if the speaker is relatively intelligent, clear, and well-structured, it makes it easy to turn it into a book. If you just have somebody who's rambling, then it's going to be tough to turn it into a book because you don't have the structure to put it into a chapter format, right? You guys follow me so far?
Yes.
So think about anything here that could be a video that, or a set of videos that we can turn into a book. For example, how big tech is changing the landscape of fitness.
In the report, you mentioned about Apple, and I think you also give reference to Amazon and the fact that how they're not focusing on the product, they're moving towards this.
Okay, big tech is changing fitness. Why is it? Because of digital and coronavirus, not all this, right? Could we produce a book against this thing? Maybe. Well, it's only 14 minutes, so maybe not. But let's see how big tech is changing the landscape of fitness. A lot of what's in the book is in the title. It's not actually in the meat of it itself. You know, only 9% of people read past the first page in a book. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
It's not to say that you shouldn't have actual meat in your book, but it's kind of not as important as a good title and the people that are behind it and a nice cover. So let's go to product description and we'll call it International, and how big tech is changing the landscape of fitness. And let's do it in the tone of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I can't even, how do you Schwartz? I don't know. How do you spell it? I don't know how to say it. Let's see. Let's generate some output. Think like steroids for your mind. Can you say this in Arnold's accent?
I'll be back.
So yes, go give this a shot, Tom. Try to say this in your best Arnold
Achieve
accent.
your fitness goals on the go with Tucker Mannheimer International on course. I don't know. It sounds more like a Sergeant Schultz from Hogan's Heroes, but
Okay.
Close.
Okay. That's a product description. Well, let's do another one. Let's do, how about blog post outline? All right, here we go. Tone of voice. Name somebody or name a tone, or funny, or Malcolm Gladwell, or Morgan Freeman. Name somebody or name some tone.
Simon Sinek.
Yeah, I like him.
All right, Tucker, you haven't seen anything like this before, have you?
No, this is all new to me. I'm taking it all in.
Yeah. Is this a red pill moment for you?
I'm not too sure what that means either.
You ever see The Matrix?
Oh yeah, I have actually.
Want the red pill? Or you want the blue?
The blue pill. Yep.
Okay. The blue pill means you stay where you are in the pink slime, and the red pill is you get woken up and flushed down the toilet thing.
Okay, yeah, definitely red pill situation.
Okay, so here it is. Big tech, how is it changing the landscape of fitness in the tone of Simon Sinek? All right, this seems like these are words that he would use. This is an outline. Fitness industry is changing. How big tech's changing? Okay, here's another outline. What are some of the most common misconceptions about fitness? Blah, blah, blah. How to use technology to get into shape. Okay, how about this one? Which ones do we like? Why should you care about what's happening in the industry? References. Hit. Okay. Oh. All right. So let's do another one. Let's go creative story. All right, Tucker, tell me a story. Give me the first line of a story.
All right.
I'll give you one for now while you're thinking. You think about one.
Okay.
You had no idea. And the tone of who?
Eddie Lamar.
Who? Eddie Lamar?
No, I'm just joking.
Who? Too many people were talking at once. Donald Trump. Why not? He's a fun one. The language changes, of course. Actually, hold on a second. I got to move this thing out of the way here.
There's going to be fantastic about 4 times in there.
It was a big day for Tucker. Unemployed for 6 months and needed to support his family. So today we finally found out he was going to get that new job at Blitzmetrics. Pulled up outside the company's headquarters on his bike. His helmet sat neatly on the seat next to him as he climbed off and began raining steadily from the sky. Okay. What? No, it'll be fine, his boss reassured him. Okay, it's telling a story. All right.
That's cool.
You guys read this?
I haven't tried this one yet, so.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know I'm new, but what's this application called?
Oh, don't even worry about it. There's so many tools that we use. This one's called conversion.ai. And I have a special deal because, by the way, every one of these tools that we use, I'm friends with the founder. So we have a special deal.
Nice.
When people release tools, they come to us, which is kind of a cool little advantage we have. Yeah. We can expand a sentence. All right, Tucker, what do you got? Give me a sentence.
I took a walk to the park and found a stray dog and took it home and adopted it.
Okay. Found a stray dog, took it home, and adopted it. Okay. All right. What do we got? When I got there, my roommate was scared of it, but she's an idiot, so we adopted it. First saw him, he looked like he'd need weeks, and his fur was all matted down. But then, okay. Well, you can see how this thing goes, right? Okay. So let's recap what this process is. We take a video that's on a topic that we want to be known for. Ideally, it's a video, 45-minute plus. YouTube-ish, or a video like this, something where people are talking about something. You could be interviewing other people. It could be a series of these things. We put it inside the tool, turn it into the rough draft here. Then the speaker one, speaker two thing, obviously we need to fix that. But let's say that there's something about, the 17 drugs that you need to avoid, or I don't know, whatever it is. You take a portion of this and then you start expanding it through these tools. You come in here into the long form assistant and start creating new ones. All right, who wants to create a little something here?
I was working on this earlier.
Okay.
And I said, my topic I started working around with was why the best oil change for your car isn't the cheapest.
Okay. All right, let's go. 7 reasons to choose the best oil change for your car. It's nuts what oil change is best. The guide to finding the best oil change company. 6 reasons why the best oil change for your car isn't the cheapest. All right, that's close. Well, just use the one. Use the one you came up with. All right, let's go. This is all unique content. This is not plagiarism. This is generated now uniquely. How much do you know about your car's engine? If you're like most people, not a whole lot. You might have an idea of what each piece does and how they work together, keep your vehicle, but blah, 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 but this and this and this and this and this. Okay, well, not bad. What are you, when you're looking at prices, you're trying to save money. Does it make sense to go with the cheaper oil change from a less reputable company? How much do oil change cost anyway? Do you like any of these? You want to keep going, Tom?
That one you're on now, that last one there, looked like.
You like that one?
Yeah.
Okay, this one. Okay. Now we're going to go to our outline and who's the voice?
Ronald Reagan. How's that?
I like Ronald Reagan. Okay. All right. Okay. So here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So turn each of these into its own paragraph. Let's copy it, paste it, and then let's just expand this. Turn each of these into its own thing. Let's expand it. That looks pretty good. Sure.
See, I was trying to figure out how you did that with each of those lines. That's in the what part of the program is that in?
This is inside the long form assistant.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just right clicking into this thing. Yeah. Okay. So I'm writing a book or blog post. Okay. Not bad. And by the way, if you don't like it, just just give me another one. I don't like that one. I don't like that one. I want another one. No, I don't like that one. No, it's trying all the different angles. Okay. And then of course we're going to end by having a persuasive bullet point to get them to come in. Okay. Come in today and we'll take care of you and your vehicle. Just the best price, but amazing. Okay, sure. Okay. And we'll just end with this one. I don't know. Let's just say it's that one, there. All right. So anyway, we're massaging this thing. It's, it gets us most of the way there. And then you have to add in your pictures and links and other things. And now you got a blog post. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Amazing.
Now, a book is a little bit longer. A book requires that, you probably want 150 pages. So let's call that 10 chapters of 15 pages each. Think of a book as like 10 blog posts, not just one blog post, but it's a bunch of blog posts around a particular topic. And the thing that gives it authority is not because it's in the format of the book. Like Tucker said, it means if you're writing a book, you're more intentional than just some tweet you had, right? It means you're going to pull in other people. It means that you have a structure against it, that you're going deeper into. It doesn't mean you have to have it researched. It doesn't mean it has to be 200 pages. It doesn't mean it's like some college dissertation, but it does mean that it's something that you stand for and it's part of your topic wheel. And it's something that you want other people to know that is a key thing that you believe in, right? It's important enough that you wrote a book about it. So think about how modern marketing is now about authority, because there's so much content being spewed out everywhere that in order to stand out, it has to be authority, and a book is a great way to do that. But most people can't write a book because they're scared to, because it seems like it has a lot of effort, because they don't know what to do, because they're too busy, because they think it's going to cost a lot of money. And it is. If you go to a pro, they're going to charge you 10 grand to write a book. That's just kind of what it is. Once you're done with getting it edited and formatted and distributed, and then you hire a PR person to promote it and all the other stuff, you got to go on a book tour, you have to buy your initial couple hundred copies, you're out 30 grand, right? And then what? If you have the money to do it, then you have to make sure it turns into something that makes some kind of sense to you, right? All right.
You have to do all the marketing and all of that as well.
Yep. So all you guys, I want you to think about in the next day, what is the topic you want to be known for? Break that down into subtopics. You can use the tool, any of the tools to come up with those subtopics like you saw. through converge.ai. You can record some videos and interview other people who are subject matter experts on those subtopics. And those become little chapters that we can transcribe and run through Descript or Designer or Otter or any of these other tools to pull the words out and pull the images out. We can have our graphics design team turn some of these things into diagrams. The 5 ways on how to do whatever and turn that into a diagram, right? Then we put it back into our tool, turn it into an ebook that we can publish on Kindle, give it an ISBN number. Of course, get a few people to give you testimonials saying, oh, Tucker Mannheimer's book is so awesome. I would definitely, how to be a first-time digital marketer, whatever it is, right? That's the book you should read. You get all these other people who are in the world of digital marketing saying, oh, that's a really good book. Yeah, you should get it, right? And then it's a matter of promotion from there. I recorded a private interview with Chandler Bolt, who runs Self-Publishing School. No one else has seen it, but if you guys want to see it, we talk about this process in a little bit more detail on how to write an authoritative book and what's the ROI of it and how do you guys approach it. I want to release it in 2 or 3 months, not quite ready yet, but Chandler Bolt, I think, is the most authoritative in the structure of how do you promote a book and produce a book. So I interviewed him. Why not, right?
So Dennis, just can I just ask for clarity?
Yep.
Because I'm tying this to the topic wheel, and so from my topic wheel, I have 6 topics, and you're saying take each topic and create a video. So one of them is mentorship, and I have you as one of the authoritative people that I know, or influencers. It's what it's called. And so then set up something like create something that speaks to mentorship that speaks to me, or not say speaks to me, but basically my thoughts around mentorship. And create the video, and then I can begin to build the book from that point? Or am I creating a book for all 6 of my topics?
No. Book, you want to choose one topic.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. Don't go too broad, because then your book title is, how to know everything about everything. That won't work.
Right. And we don't want that. Okay. So it'll just be mentorship. And I begin to speak on that.
Yeah. But think about what the end goals are.
The end goals. Okay.
Angles, right? The angle is to improve your job, to be able to get help and avoid pain, to, when you're a struggling entrepreneur and you don't have the resources, that mentorship can, there's all the different angles of mentorship, right?
Yes. Got it. I'm clear.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Carlos, what do you think? You're on mute.
I'm definitely brainstorming some topics, in terms of what I want to maybe put together. I'm excited to sort of see what, I come up with. I think automotive, or I'm big on the community here in San Francisco. I love, I'm born and raised over here. So I would love to maybe put something together with sort of something with the Bay Area.
Yeah.
In terms of how we're helping businesses out over here. So yeah, so I'm definitely going to brainstorm to see what I come up with. But for the most part, I'm going to see what videos I currently have at the moment that I can maybe get some, content from, and then use Conversion. I want to sign up for conversion.ai so I can use that as well. So we'll see how that goes. But I think this is very beneficial. So thank you so much for sharing, Dennis.
Good. Yeah, you can either sign up under our link, which I think gives you some sort of discount or reward, or you could use our account, which is an unlimited account, very special account.
Yeah. Do you have do you reach out to Stephanie or you for the credentials for that, or either way, I'd be more than happy to use it. Either way, it works for me.
Yeah, just ping me and I'll get the link for it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
AP, what do you think? You're always in the car when we see you, huh?
My apologies to everybody. I just got out of a doctor's appointment, but the wonderful call. I've been on it the whole time I've been listening.